One of the most important parts of SharePoint is managing the SharePoint security. So we're going to go ahead and explain this. If you have any questions on this, I'm going to recommend that you rewind and watch this part again until you have clear understanding. If you don't completely understand all of the security, please make a phone call to the TSC and ask questions before you move on. So as the default, when you first are given a SharePoint site, you're going to have 3 groups of permissions. It's usually best that you put everyone you're going to share your SharePoint site with into a group, and that's going to make taking care of security the best way to do it. So as a site owner, you're going to have these 3 groups. You're going to have the members group, the owners group, and the visitors group. The members are going to be the most common, and so those are the ones who are going to be able to contribute information to the site. They'll be able to edit documents in the site. They'll be able to delete documents in the site. The owner is going to be the one who has the full control. The only thing the owner can't do is to create a sub-site. So if you need sub-sites, that will still have to go through ITS. You also may have visitors to the site, and the visitors are just going to have read-only access. So they're not going to actually be contributing anything, but they may want to read it. It may look a little odd, but you'll notice that it has sharing members, sharing. So what we've done is the default with a SharePoint site is going to be that it's members, owners, and visitors. But because this is part of Microsoft Office 365, Microsoft has that ability that they can change things at any time without notice. Security is so critical that we didn't want to take any chances of them making some sort of change with the security. And that's why they will name all of your groups with part of your site's name, and then members, owners, and visitors. That way, if Microsoft decides they want to say, oh, you know what, I think members are going to be able to do these other things too. We don't want any surprises, so we name it this. And that way that kind of takes care of any surprises that might come down the road. So typically this is what you would have set up, and then you're going to add members to each of these different groups. Now, one thing to keep in mind with SharePoint is that you can actually have different security at different levels. So if you're lucky, you'll set this up at the highest level, and that will be it throughout your entire SharePoint site. But you may have one application, or you may have one document or something that you want different permissions on. In which case, you need to set that up at the highest level, and then you'll come down to that document or to that app, and you'll break those permissions and set up the more unique positions at that point. So as an example, you might set up another group called Sharing Manager. And so this management group is also going to have contribute. So they're going to look identical at the highest level, that this is no different than the members group. But then when we get down to this document, or you get down to this app level, you can then change those permissions, and all of a sudden these members no longer have that contribute, and you change them to a read. So that's why we may want to add additional if that's necessary, if you need different permission settings on different areas. Okay.
Thanks for watching. For more tech training videos, visit www.bgsu.edu/tech training, or subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out all of our other social media.